You ever wire a Siemens S7-1200 PLC? A lot of people get confused as to where wires go on PLCs. How do you wire it? What goes where? Let's remove some of these covers and show you. So right here on the first portion of the PLC, you can see that there are a number of ports and terminals across the top. And we're going to tell you what they mean. The first thing you want to look at is your power in. It's going to be an L plus and an M. And you can see Siemens gives you a little arrow to look at. That's 24 volts DC is what it's asking for. So right here, we've got a ground. And so if you don't bring a ground here, you could actually have unsafe operation. If there is a short inside your PLC or a short inside your wiring, you could end up frying your CPU instead of that short going safely back to home. So we talked about your main power in. Well, Siemens gives you this handy dandy little power out option here too. So this is L plus and M. Again, this is 24 volts DC. Usable power. This here power is what you can take to drag to your commons or your hot ports across your PLC. But if you look, everywhere you see a 1M or everywhere you see an M or a 1M, you've got to drag 0 volts. You've got to drag a negative line to that portion or it won't be able to complete the loop. And everywhere you see an L plus past this main power in and out, you've got to drag a hot. But you can see across the rest of your inputs here, it does not require, on your digital inputs, it doesn't require any more hot or common or hot or 0 volt lines. But here on your analog inputs, it does want a 0 volt, a common line. It wants a neutral right here. If you're using your analog inputs, that's where you're going to land your neutral. This is a SM1223. It's an expansion card. All it's going to do is allow me to have more I/O for this PLC so I can have a bigger machine. So take a look. It says right here, it's reminding you, hey look, this PLC card wants 24 volts DC coming in. On L plus, I got to land that hot line, the 24 volts positive, and on M, I've got to land that 24 volts neutral or common or 0 volts. It depends who you are and where you're from. That's where you're going to call it. 1M is another neutral line, 2M is another neutral line, and of course a ground. And ladies and gentlemen, we're missing our ground here. So we better get that ground in there before we have any faults. But the rest of them are going to be the addresses for your inputs and outputs. The rest of them are going to be terminals where you can land your inputs, and on the bottom side is going to be your outputs.